The politicians here in the Central African Republic are close to choosing a new transitional president, but the reality on the ground is extremely volatile. We seem to be in a cycle of revenge, sectarian killings, and on Sunday there was more violence here in the capital. I should warn viewers that they may find some of the pictures in my report very distressing. They are baying for blood. This crowd of Christians want to get their hands on a Muslim hiding inside the house. They say he was involved in the killing of a Christian, and now they want revenge. He's pulled from the house. It's too distressing to show you what happened next. But after the man was hacked to pieces, he was set on fire. A second Muslim was murdered just nearby. Apparently he'd been hiding in a church. He too was set on fire. And as the corpses are ritually abused, the crowd celebrates.
We will continue to do this for as long as Muslims will go on.
It's hard to imagine what impact these scenes will have on all those who watched. French peacekeepers arrived, but it was too late. African soldiers from Cameroon also appeared. They eventually moved into the crowd.
It's a lawless situation here, and yet we're right in the middle of the capital, Bangui. And under these circumstances, the African and indeed the French peacekeepers are struggling to keep a lid on the sectarian hatred which is bubbling up.
This time, the crimes were caught on camera, but similar killings are happening on a daily basis, and not just here in Bangui, but across the country. Well, let me bring in my guest at this point. His name is Tony Lake. He is the Executive Director of UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund. And Mr. Lake, let me ask you first, we saw some very upsetting scenes there. They were witnessed by children. That was in Bangui, but these kinds of things we know are happening across the country, unfortunately. What is the impact on children when they see these sorts of scenes?
These children are seeing things that no child should ever see, even on television. And it has a huge traumatic effect on them. And that is why we concentrate in UNICEF on child-friendly spaces and on the kinds of counseling that they need, in part for their own sake, but in part also because if they grow up thinking that such actions are normal, it becomes more likely to be replicated in the next generation as well.
My own impression, travelling around the country over the last 10 days or so, is that law and order has broken down. There is no government functioning here at all. What has been your impression over the past 3 days?
Exactly the same. And unless there is an increase in the security that can be provided in the communities, and also in some system of local justice, then you're going to see more and more revenge killings of the kind that we horrifically have just seen today and are seeing around the country.
Realistically, security has to come from outside, though, doesn't it? It has to be peacekeepers coming from other countries.
Yes, and I think that the Africans that I have seen and the French are doing the best job that they can, but the African force needs more resources, more men, as soon as we can all help provide.
Now, there is a meeting in Brussels on Monday of EU governments. Your message to them would be, please send more soldiers here, then?
Well, no, this is a meeting on humanitarian side, which is, of course, what UNICEF does. And we have to not only, the international community, provide that security, but we also have to provide in communities the kind of progress on health and food and all those other things, so that all of those who are now leaving the communities or have left and are now in IDP camps, internally displaced people camps, that there will be a magnet effect and they will return to the communities. Because, for example, in the camps, it is now the dry season. By late spring, early summer, it's going to be the wet season. Many of those camps will be unsustainable. So the bottom line is, because of the escalation of the violence, because while there may be political progress, if it doesn't happen, there's going to be despair, political despair, replacing the current weekend of hope. And because of the coming rainy season and for many other reasons, there is needed a sense of urgency on the security side, on the humanitarian side, that so far the international community has not yet shown.
Tony Lake, the head of UNICEF, thank you very much for speaking to us here in Bangui, the capital of the Central African Republic. And for now, back to you in the studio.